it meant anything goes. Anyone could die, anyone could fall in love, anyone could die, anyone could fall in love, anyone could die, anyone could die.
Asian Apocalypse.
Concept was so cool.
Asian Apocalypse.
Concept was so cool.
People couldn't believe it. They had to believe it. People couldn't believe it. They had to believe it.
Everything that you hit on the known level. Out the window. Everything that you hit on the known level. Out the window. Everything that you hit on the known level. Out the window.
I'm Jeremy Greer.
And I'm Gary Butterfield.
And this is Days of Future Cast, and we are counting down the issues to the end of the Age of Apocalypse, Gary. We're getting kind of close.
Penultimate week.
Yeah. Man, this went by so much faster than I thought it would.
Yeah. It's been a breezy pleasure.
Mm-hmm. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, the threes were a little slow. I think the fours are all pretty fun.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much back on board. I got out of hand and read the rest of the series because I just, I started doing it and I didn't have the energy to start a new thing. Momentum, like COVID momentum.
Mm-hmm.
And I read the something I don't want to cover is the book that takes place. It's like X-Men Omega or something.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be about all the fallout from this. And I forgot how bad that is and how bad the art is. It's a really bad comic.
Are you sure we don't want to cover it?
I mean, it's I don't know. If we end up doing those X-Men Chronicles, that'll get our bad comic and bad art quotient out of the way, I think.
I have it. I do have that on the list to do. Like, it's on our reading schedule. But
yeah, let's do it. Fuck it.
Obviously, we do not have to do that. So
it's horseshit. It's all setting up for like Onslaught stuff, I think.
Yeah. If
I recall, which is like, whoo boy, Onslaught's real bad. But this is better.
So we're doing Astonishing X-Men number 4 today. I want to say this at the top because I'll probably forget. We started getting some feedback in. We will do like a letters, questions, your comments and thoughts kind of episode at some point. So go ahead and start sending those in. daysoffuturecast.com/contact or dofcpodcast@gmail.com, I think is the address.
If you're a huge Wild Child fan and want to cancel us over our Wild Child opinions,
please. If
we pissed off Wild Child Twitter, let us know.
Yeah, definitely. At Plumber Duck for the Wild Child fans. We have to set it up perfectly.
We are. Yeah. It's our filter. He reads all of our stuff and then only sends us the most choice feedback.
5 stars. You people need to shut up about get Wild Child's name out your mouth.
Kyle Dabney. All right. His name is Kyle Dabney.
Kyle Dabney. Jesus Christ.
I don't know if it's Dabney. I thought it was Dabney. It's something like that though. Wild Child. So this is the end. The Astonishing X-Men to give everybody, refresh everybody, went off to go fight Holocaust.
Yes.
This is the Holocaust arc, and this is the team with Blink and Iceman, Sabretooth, Wild Child, Sunfire, and Changeling.
You mentioned Iceman. I haven't. Are you sure he's on the team?
He's on the cover. He does one thing in this, if I recall, but just barely.
Yes. Yeah. He shows up, which is more than he's done in the other issues. So.
Anytime somebody has ice in their drink, it's actually Iceman.
Oh, wow.
So he shows up as an Easter egg in the panel.
That's a weird fetish, but I can get behind it. It's like, drink me like I was a French girl.
Get a little Bobby Drake in your whiskey. It really calms it down a little bit.
There you go.
Waters it.
I prefer my Bobby Drake neat, but my whiskey dirty.
Hey, Bobby, you used to be able to get Bobby Drake straight, but now you can't.
Yeah.
So.
I see what you did there. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, see? Thank you. As I got enough sleep last night to make jokes. So I'm very proud of myself.
And this is not a big recording day for you, right? So I got you fresh. I got fresh Gary.
Yeah, dude. This is total fresh Gary. This is I'm a winter daisy. Like we've been having a heat wave here, and the night before last, I didn't sleep at all, and I just kind of laid down like the Vitruvian Man, trying to air myself out and just, didn't sleep at all. And then last night, today is a little bit cooler. It's still like 93 or something. It's still stupid. But last night I was able to actually get some sleep.
Nice. Very good.
I iceboxed my whole house all day, and then was able to keep it a reasonable temperature. So
did you say ice blocked your whole house?
Iceboxed.
Iceboxed.
I don't know if that's actually a phrase. That's why I say when I like blast the air conditioner for a while to like try to make it cool before I do something.
We call that like March through November in Louisiana. That's what we do. So our cover is basically just a little team up cover. We've got all of the usual suspects here, with Rogue taking front of center because she's the leader of the team. It's kind of disappointing that Blink is so far in the back when this has basically been kind of like a Blink story,
a Blink and Sabretooth thing, but mostly Blink. Yeah. And we get this first kind of splash page with Blink. I do not like this drawing. I like Joe Madureira, especially this era.
Mm-hmm.
I have a real hard time with this posture.
It's a very weird posture. Yeah,
super weird. She's calling out Holocaust. She's got her teleportation little blade she throws to teleport, which is an Age of Apocalypse kind of thing. I think the original Blink could just teleport in the 616.
But you need projectiles, Gary. If you're going to be in video games, you got to have a projectile.
Got to have a projectile. Yeah, even though Blink does not show up in any games, as far as I know.
Oh man, if you want to send corrections to that, at Cole Ross, the joke that never gets old, Gary.
Even though it would have made perfect for her to be in X-Men Legends 2 Apocalypse. It's vaguely based on the Age of Apocalypse. She fights Sugar Man in it.
Nice.
Yeah. So this is all about her like getting her groove back. Like she has now gone and had sex with a Haitian child, and now has her groove back. Like she is confronting Holocaust, and all the narration is about how she's no longer.
It's not what happens and how you get your groove back, my man. That's not what Stella does.
I'm pretty sure that's what she does, dude.
Tay Diggs is not a child. He's a man.
He's a teen.
Jesus Christ. Have I ever told you the time that I broke my leg? And when I got out of the hospital, I was just on the couch and I couldn't move. I wasn't in a cast or anything, luckily, but I had like pins and like rods all up in my leg. I could not move myself. Like I was, if it was time to pee, I was getting like the little thing, right?
Okay.
So, and I'm just laying on the couch all the time. My poor mom like is taking care of me, and I'm like 16 or 17. So she's like, "Hey, I'm going to go to the Blockbuster. What you want to get?" And I was like, "Well, I really want to see this movie Desperado." I think that's it. I think that's with all of the mariachi guys like shooting everybody. That's Desperado.
Yeah.
So she brings that home, and how Stella got her groove back as her pick of two, and I'm like, Mom. I mean, I didn't say like just get anything. I just said this was the one thing that I wanted.
Yeah, you could have got something else in the same section of the store.
Yeah, just anything with Antonio Banderas in it would have been probably what he's probably in How Stella Got a Groove Back. I haven't seen that.
He could have been.
So
he was young at the time. Somebody could have got their groove back through him. Somebody could have harvested the groove. Somebody could have harvested groove like. Anywho, so she's called out Apocalypse or Holocaust rather. And they're just kind of yelling at each other. Like this is them doing badass saber rattling. The name is Blink. I'm not a child, And Holocaust says something really stupid. He's like, I don't believe we met. And then when she says, we have met, he's like, I know who you are. What I mean is, we have not met before now. It's really funny.
You think that's like directly out of like a comic book store, like regional manager kind of mouth right there? Like it just feels like so awkward and like, ooh, like mustache twirly even like, ooh.
Covering for his mistake. But he's trying to be a badass. Like, I feel bad about having to kill you. You've done a lot of damage to my gene processing atrocity plant or what have you. And then we get a fight scene.
Yeah. And there's lots of cool stuff where she's like teleporting around. He throws her at a wall, but of course she's able to teleport behind him and like really crack on his back, like some of that momentum stuff that we saw in Days of Future Past, like with her in the movie in that first like big fight scene.
Yeah. At one point he grabs her and it makes the sound effect grab. Did you notice that?
I did not. What does a grab sound like? Oh, it sounds like grab. In my head, it sounds like like in every fighting game, you hit the two buttons together and you do the grab attack, and it makes that like kind of noise. Like that's what it's in my head. That's what a grab noise is. It might be.
No, but it's actually just the word
grab. Oh man, we need to change the sound effect since it's Soul Calibur immediately.
It also, when she blinks, it makes the sound effect blink. But it looks like it's saying bunk.
Yeah.
Because of the font. Bunk.
What if it's blink on exit but bunk on entry?
Yeah. Bunk on entry. 2-for-1 margarita shots and bunk on entry. Come on down to Haven.
Yeah, this is lots of fighting back and forth, and eventually we just go back over to she throws him into like the gene pit. She manages to sneak him into like whatever this green substance is, and she just blinks him
marrow. Yeah, she teleports him, like teleports under him, or puts a thing under him and drops him into it. As they're fighting, and at some point, my name is Blink. Like he calls her a half scan. And he goes like half scan. She goes half scan, with a question mark. Or who do you think is faster, half scan? And I don't really know what half scan is, like as a slur, I guess.
I don't either. Could it be a dude? Like, was that a team member that died or something that we just have totally forgotten it in the last 10 or 15 weeks?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's super weird. But we didn't. You're right. We cut over. If you remember, Rogue and the crew has just flown in on Morph as a door. And now they're fighting Infinites.
Well, they flew in on the door and then they snuck in. Morph is the whale. So
I forgot about the whale thing. So now he's just a big strong man as they fight.
Morph completely wins me over in this issue. By the way, I'm on Team Morph. I can't help it.
He's pretty good in this. And then I told you I read the first like bunch of issues of Exiles recently, which has a bunch of Morph content as well. They really kind of redeemed that guy during this.
So we've got Sunfire, Rogue, Wild Child, and Morph all fighting these Infinites, which are basically robot baddies. Morph is not going to stop with the one-liners throughout this issue. And of course, everybody's kind of getting fed up.
Yeah. I like Wild Child just gnawing on the head.
Yeah.
Of one of the infants, just biting the helmet.
It doesn't look like he's doing anything effective whatsoever. Like the guy below is like, dude, not cool. I'm an infinite. Get your teeth off my head.
Rogue tells Sunfire to go check in on Blink. Blink has done her part by trashing the place. Go check in on her and take Wild Child.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And that leaves Morph and Rogue to fight it out alone, but of course he can't shut up. So she tells him to zip it, and he literally turns his entire front chest and neck and mouth into a zipper and zips it up.
Yeah. Big like Cenobite energy to that.
Yeah, dude.
And the idea here is that she's not, she usually tolerates his bullshit, and she's not. So this actually gives him pause. Like maybe this is actually the end. This is serious, We cut over to Apocalypse's big eyesore, like boot palace, where we're seeing this fight on a screen, like a screen orb, a floating like flat screen TV orb, where Apocalypse is showing this to Magneto, who is dressed in a one-piece, like a dark onesie.
Yeah, like a leotard kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
A speed suit, if you will.
It's totally a speed suit.
It's a speed
suit. When you get captured by Apocalypse, you lose your helmet and you get like a can you imagine him putting Magneto in this dark onesie?
Do you think that was Apocalypse has a onesie dude, right? Like he's like,
okay, I bet Rex could do it.
Sure, yeah, why not?
Like Rex is probably not busy all the time.
Or those two brothers, the Bedlam brothers, like they're not doing anything right now. Might as well come here, bring the Vaseline. This dude's ripped.
Like, just lube up the suit and push him into it.
Yeah, lube up
Beast, just like yes,
lube up this geezer. We gotta get him in the suit.
You, my geriatric friend, perhaps you'd like to be lubed and put into the suit.
Just sputtering. I'm only 55. It's the new 30.
My hair turned white when I was 20. Asshole.
I'm a mutant. I'm not a grandpa.
I saw a ghost.
I I kidnapped myself
off my
to the Statue of Liberty to try to use myself to convert other mutants to other people. It was weird. Whole plot line didn't make sense. Turned my hair white. Oh man.
But yeah. And then, so he's showing him this, basically just trying to break his spirit. And Magneto's taunting him. There's a lot of people, just two people taunting each other in this.
Yes.
This whole thing. Magneto basically says, like, you have this whole thing about survival of the fittest, but we're the one who are fighting. That's what surviving is.
Yes.
And the people who are surviving are the people who will never stop fighting.
Apocalypse is looking straight up Jokerish in this issue.
Yeah.
Joker
energy.
I just can't help but look at him and just think like, oh yeah, definitely. Like, those lips, Gary, the purple lips they're really something.
There's a reason why Apocalypse is usually shown in the darkness, and when they turn on the lights in this, it's like, whoa,
yeah, whoa,
that's your fucking costume, dude.
Put on some pants, Jesus. So he kills Magneto here.
He just like fucks him up. It's real weird. Magneto puts his hand on Apocalypse's throat, who still has the Joker smile, and Apocalypse snaps, and it makes a sound like a sound. And he falls down to the ground. I think we're meant to think maybe he died, but then also Apocalypse says you will die soon. So I think he just fucks him up.
Oh yeah. Sorry. For a while there, I was just looking at the pictures. That was helping me a little bit. I wasn't reading any of the dialogue.
No. I mean, it's the dialogue in this is not super great. It's Scott Lobdell boilerplate bullshit.
Yeah.
In this.
We go back over to the atrocity plant, where these Infinites are like, "Hey, Holocaust told us to kill these people. We haven't talked to him in the last 3 minutes. I guess it's time to kill these people."
Yeah,
and
the prime directive stands.
That's when Wild Child shows up with a soul-splintering howl.
He looks like such a werewolf. This is stronger and bigger than Wild Child has ever looked.
Absolutely.
The silhouette.
Yeah. Well, that's because
it's like, this is. Yeah, I know. I know. It's a secret. And Sunfire comes down. We get some Sunfire narration as well. Everyone's kind of getting their like badass moment on the way out for the last issue of this. Goes down and rescues everybody. This is the idea, is this kind of redemption. He survived the Apocalypse's genocide of Japan and keeps him awake, and now he's been able to rescue these people. He's like, I don't know what my purpose was. Why did I keep going? And he's like, now I have my answer, because he rescued all these people. So a nice little moment for him.
This is when we go back over to Blink, who is surprised to see that Morph run into the room, and she tells him like, "Hey, Sabretooth is dead. I've also killed Holocaust. He's in this genetic stew." And as soon as she starts to talk about it, this whole thing explodes, and he just forms like a 90-degree angle with a head coming out of it that kind of looks like if you buy a shower from Home Depot, you probably have never done that, but you can go to Home Depot, like the shower aisle, and you can buy exactly this. And I'm kind of here I'm kind of here for this corner fucking shower, man. It's so good.
Morph can turn into anything. A giant whale, a corner. Just
his imagination is limitless as long as it's a whale or an angle.
From whale to corner, he can do it all. Everything from C to W. But this is Holocaust busting out of the gene stew, and he looks like no worse for wear at all.
I was really disappointed by this. Like, if you drop somebody in a bucket of green goo in a comic book, like, I want you to come out looking like you have been. I was going to say Joker-fied, but we've already got one of those. But like, I want you to come out looking like, worse for wear. I want you to look like I want there to be holes in your weird armor. Like, I want you to be missing a limb somewhere.
Especially since he has this like energy skeleton within him.
Yeah.
Like having the armor like partially dissolved with like bits of this energy skeleton sticking out would have been really awesome.
Seems like a no-brainer to me, my man.
Yeah. They really missed an opportunity to make this look super cool. I get it's not acid. Like, I don't exactly know what getting stuck in a big pile of like human marrow does. But like, I would have just gone with it. I would have done the coolest thing instead of just having him be fine.
Yeah. I'm not looking for realism here. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mentioned that I binged that entire show of Merlin.
One
of the lines on that show, like somebody was talking about like her kingdom got destroyed, and she's like, they cut us down like corn. And I made a comment to a friend of mine who's also watching it. I was like, man, that line just really stuck out to me. It's just really like funny. It's just a weird line. Like that they didn't like cut me down like corn. And she said, yeah, like I went to the trivia section and somebody was complaining because they didn't have corn in this time period. And I'm like, what? They didn't have fucking dragons and magic either. Like, let them have some fucking corn, dude. Jesus Christ.
That's
I am
exactly
trivia people.
the women didn't have that kind of job in Zelda times.
Exactly.
Argument, you know.
In Zelda time. What is a Zelda time?
Yeah. Trivia. There was no Zelda time. You fucking idiot.
Yeah. If you go to page 236 of Hyrule Historia, it will tell you it's all fake, motherfucker.
Yeah. You have to wait. You have to read to the end. And it's like, oh, yeah. Just kidding.
Yeah. I got past the weird split timelines. I know where I'm at. Oh,
So Holocaust just bodies him.
yes.
Smashes Morph into the wall with his weird, his hand, his weird wasp nest hand. Grabs Blink and is choking her, and she's like, Morph, Morph. And Morph touches Holocaust and causes his brain is reversing its electromagnetic flow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that Beastie Boys song with the backwards bass.
Yes.
Exactly the same thing, right?
It is very similar. And then Morph turns super strong and gets a southern accent, and we reveal this is actually Rogue.
Yeah.
Rogue, this is a cool little twist. Rogue stole Morph's powers.
Yep.
And snuck in to get the jump on Holocaust. And reverse the magnetic flow with her Polaris powers, and then smashes his wasp nest hand. And as he's recovering from this, Morph turns into a gigantic brick and falls on him, which I like.
I love it, dude.
So
it's so good. Like just this giant, like that was the thing that
corners.
he thought. It was a
Yeah,
giant
exactly. Brick. Yeah. It too is what I would have done. There's this weird running joke in this of like, then stand over there. That pops up that is not nearly as clever as I think Scott Lobdell thinks it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Where like Rogue is like, from where I'm standing, it looks like you're finished, and Holocaust punches her and goes, then stand over there. That's not as badass as you think, my dude.
And then he has to repeat it. Like she gets it back on him, and I'm like, doesn't work any better the second time. Yeah.
No, it wasn't super good. Yeah.
So there's a little bit more fighting where we go back and forth. Rogue gets like knocked way the hell out, and it goes like through a bunch of concrete. Morph has to run over and try to revive her, but he's unable to do so without turning it into a different version of her child. Like I don't.
The indeterminate age, the baby that is now old enough to have sideburns.
What the hell, dude?
So no one has ever decided on how old Charles is. That's a good reason to get the McCann crystal to blink him out of existence.
Yeah.
He's obviously a new like non-Euclidean age beast of some kind. I got rid of him.
Oh god, that'd be so much more interesting for the Age of Apocalypse villain. Just a baby that keeps changing ages from 0 to 12.
Randomly. So he gets him up and he's helping everybody. He's solving everybody. Helping everybody during the fight. He talks about helping Clarice, and he says, Kyle and Clarice, I like the sound of that. It's like a wacky, cop sitcom as he saves, Wild Child and stuff, and just doing goofs. And then we get over to Melee Rogue, who is punching, the shit out of Holocaust.
Slam.
And there is then wait
yeah.
over there. Yep. Then it's like I've waited so long to be rid of you, Shiro. Then wait over there, punch. He doesn't move or anything. It's not the comeback that you think it is.
No. He tells them that something that we know that Rogue does not, which is that they captured Bishop and Magneto and that they destroyed the mansion that they've been hiding in. And then he mentions that he also got their son, which of course sets Rogue off, and she starts seriously punching him. And like we're starting to see a little bit of damage on his armor, but like not near enough. I need more damage on this dude's armor. Like, what is it made of?
He goes into the 616. Like, I think they wanted to protect this guy a little bit because he, joins the real Marvel universe, which isn't a good reason to do it. And I don't think he did anything cool when he was there. They just really liked him for some reason. So they beat him up. He's on the ground. And she's like, you look like a pathetic defeated monster. And he goes, perhaps, but from where you're standing, Rogue.
Oh my
and I'm like,
God.
man, this standing thing.
Positional based humor, man. I don't like it.
You guys got to give this up.
Next thing you know, they'll be shouting GPS coordinates at each other.
Yeah. Well, that's, of course you'd say that at coordinates at 26 latitude west.
That sounds like a real negative 32 comment from where I'm standing.
Well, then stand over here. But it turns out they're on a teleport platform.
Mm-hmm.
And he tries to teleport them, but you're right. Iceman barely gets anything to do. His ice lasso pulls her out of this.
Fucking incredibly dumb, dude. An ice lasso. Get out of here.
And where was he during that? I mean, I guess he was saving Sabretooth during an adventure we didn't get a chance to see.
Yeah. No, not enough pages in the book for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he brings back Sabretooth, who his clothes are ripped up, but he's otherwise fine. Rogue is pretty pissed. She wanted to follow to find Magneto and her kid, and they're like, hey, we should all do that together. And they all line up in team formation, and she says, the age of apocalypse is over. And Morph has a bunch of funny lines and kind of looks like he's doing like an apocalypse vibe thing right now. Mm-hmm. And that's it. That's the wrap on Amazing X-Men.
Or Astonishing X-Men.
That's what I said. Definitely said Astonishing X-Men.
It isn't. That's okay. This is a nice little wrap up. Like they went and fought Holocaust. It's self-contained. Good action during this with characters I generally like.
Yeah. This is not terrible. And like you said, good action. I can't help but think, but like this feels really like if you're gonna have like 4 or 5 pillars in this crossover event, in this like crazy world shattering event, like they should all be kind of important. And like this one, like versus going to get Ilyana or going to get the McRae crystal, like that, those things seem like hugely important to like Magneto's plan, whereas this was like go take care of a yellow dude for a while. Yeah.
It's pretty silly. I think that the idea is, I respect the idea that Magneto would not say like, hey, our reality changing plan would 100% work. So we can't, we still have to rescue humans and do our normal X-Men shit. Like, I respect that. I think that makes sense. It ends up feeling like it doesn't add up to a whole lot, which like the weird thing about the Age of Apocalypse is it does largely get undone. We have that issue where they show the impact on the real world. There are some people who made it over from the Age of Apocalypse. Like it does have an effect. But it is like a lot of these things are ultimately going to add up to not very much. It's just for the end, for when they have the gigantic MacGuffin undo everything in a big fight scene, but in terms of just kind of fluff, like this ended up being, when I was like reading comics, most recently, like in my late 20s and early 30s, and I would collect crossovers. Like when Civil War came out, I got that, and I got a bunch of the side comics, or like World War Hulk. I collected that, and a lot of them were just this. Like World War Hulk X-Men is just the Hulk showing up to fight the X-Men for 3 issues. And I was like pretty into it. Like I was like, this doesn't add anything. This isn't important. It's just some fights.
Yeah.
It's just and I like comic fights. I like people in underwear punching each other. So it kind of works for me.
Yeah, the most recent Secret Wars event that I read had a bunch of those. Like they had like cool, they just had characters doing weird stuff, and like, oh yeah, like Cyclops' Brand's assistants, and they were like fighting zombies in the Marvel universe because they're coming to take the world or whatever on the zombie planet. Like that's kind of cool. Let's do that. Or that was always a lot of fun. This one was, I mean, and this is fine. I'm not actually complaining here. It just like I kept expecting it to build up to a little bit more, I guess.
Yeah. The I would say Amazing is a little bit more integrated.
Sure. Yeah.
Not hugely, but it has like a little 2-issue arc of going and fighting, with the evacuation, and then comes back to the mansion. At least we're doing mansion shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And also these were never going to end. Like these all lead into X-Men, Omega or whatever, the X-Men, the ending, big issue. So like they were never going to complete their arcs.
No, not at all. And I wasn't expecting that. I just like, Hey, look, maybe they'll show up and be crucial. Maybe them like punching this guy 5 times will be crucial to Magneto's plan.
Yeah, he had some goo on him, and that's what
exactly. Yeah,
what ends up.
We finally got
making the
Iceman
difference.
back. Maybe Iceman has his time to shine in this. So.
I don't think so. I feel like he does not. It's really unfortunate, but I think not. So rest in peace, Iceman.
What is not unfortunate is you donating to patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv and supporting not just this podcast, but the entire network. It's a really cool place to be. You should go jump on the Slack. You get episodes early. Get all kinds of cool benefits at patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv. So check that out. I mentioned it at the top of the episode. We're going to be doing a feedback episode at some point. So if you want to write in about your thoughts and complaints, questions about Age of Apocalypse, you can do that at daysoffuturecast.com/contact. Just hit the contact button on that. Yeah, contact.
Yeah. And that'd be awesome. We appreciate that. And of course, ratings and reviews, wherever your podcast rating and reviews happen.
Yes, please.
That is appreciated. And until next time, we'll see you later. Take care.